Let's get some more now on Egypt's response to the murder of up to 21 Coptic Christians by Islamic State militants in Libya. The Egyptian military has carried out airstrikes on IS targets in Libya. It came after Egypt's president said he reserved the right to hit back at a time and place of his choosing. A Libyan Air Force commander has said 40 to 50 militants have been killed. Well, with me now is Bishop Angaelos, who is General Bishop of the Coptic Orthodox Church in the UK. Thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us. Just tell us, first of all, your reaction to the news of these brutal murders.
Well, it's one of extreme sorrow at many levels. At first, of course, for the families, these men weren't there because they were choosing to be there for their own comfort. They were there from very modest families to work, usually in the construction industry, and to send money to their families back in very poor rural villages. So it's going to impact their families, the whole village in the area. The second is of course, seeing life treated this way and the brutality of this, and then parading it in such an undignified way. It must really be, I mean, we say that it's crimes against humanity, but this really must be a crime against humanity in its basic form.
Can you confirm that there were 21 who were killed in this attack?
We know there were 21 abducted. News reports, my understanding is they were all killed. I understand that various press agencies are much more reserved in the numbers. But I would be very concerned for the mindset of anyone who's left behind after seeing that as well. And
as far as you're aware, they were specifically targeted because of their faith?
Oh, of course. There was a statement made before it that they were targeted for a ludicrous reason. They called us Coptic Crusaders in Egypt, who were forcefully converting Muslim women to Christianity. Of course, that is absurd. It hasn't happened. There's no proof of that. If there were Coptic Crusaders, they wouldn't have sat by and seen 50 churches and 50 places of worship attacked in 48 hours, 18 months ago. They wouldn't have lived so peacefully throughout centuries of persecution.
You must be very concerned for other Coptic Christians in Libya and indeed in other parts of the Middle East.
Of course, in my immediate pastoral role, yes, I'm concerned for other Coptic Christians throughout the area, but I'm concerned for almost everyone now. These attacks have been unrestrained. They have targeted not only Coptic Christians, they've targeted Western aid workers and medical staff. They've targeted Yazidis and Muslims in the area. And what's concerning is there is an ever-narrowing perspective of who is allowed to live, because there are only certain people that this space can be legitimately shared with. And when we come to that level, there's a dehumanization of people. There's people who now have become commodities to trade with, to barter with, to flaunt as trophies. And when we get to that level, of course it's easy to execute someone you see as an object, when people are objectified in this way. But when you look at the humanity, if these are religious people, then they must understand the sanctity of life and every life.
So what is the correct response? We've obviously seen this very swift military response by Egypt. Is that something you would welcome?
As I said, I observe the sanctity of every life, so I'm not going to revel and rejoice in the loss of any life, even if it's an IS fighter. Actions have reactions and have reprisals. If the Egyptian government and military decided to act this way, it's not something as a church that I would have suggested, but nations have a right to do what they see fit to protect their people. But I fear for a group of Egyptian Muslims, fishermen, who were abducted by IS and who are now probably going to be the next domino to fall in this spiral of violence.
So in terms of your own community, are you already having to take extra precautions, extra security measures to try to protect the members of your faith?
We're quite a resilient bunch. And I think when you look at the community now, there isn't a sense of fear as much as a sense of deep sorrow. So we know that no matter what sort of security measures, we've been seeing things throughout Europe in the last few days. When you're dealing with a terrorist mentality that deals in guerrilla warfare, there is little you can do except the basic securities. What we are doing is maintaining our vigilance, of course, and maintaining our hearts in terms of love and reconciliation and peace, so that we don't become a part of this spiraling violence.
Okay. Bishop Angaelos is the General Bishop of the Coptic Orthodox Church in the UK. Thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us.
Thank you very much.